All right, what is going on, traders? This is Alex from Boss Crypto. If you guys want access to our exclusive live trading academy, we have opened up a limited amount of seats completely free for 30 days. So head over to bosscrypto.co or just click the link in the description to get access to our free trial today. Enjoy the video. So today we're going to be going over just a top-down analysis on BTC. I know a lot of the content on this channel has really just been about BTC lately, but that's honestly because BTC is where the money's at. That's where the focus is on, and everything else is looking really wrecked when BTC is going down. So there's really not any point to not following BTC. So we'll be doing the top down of that, and then I'll cover just very briefly, we'll talk about Ethereum and altcoins in general, okay? So, our top down analysis starts with the monthly. We can see cyclically, we've been on the right-hand side of our monthly cycle since the start of April when we got this massive monthly candle here. Right, we had this really nasty breakdown from 6K, and then we had this cute little bottoming tail show up, and then we held that bottoming tail all the way across during the accumulation period until we broke out with this candle, and that closed us back above the monthly 8, which kind of restarted our long-term uptrend, and then getting back above 6,000 was really that key moment where it was like, all right, we're back in the bull market. And then not only taking out 6,000, but we take out a key lower high from this monthly candle, and then lower highs from previous monthly candles too, right? So just absolutely massive amounts of strength from BTC. And then if that wasn't enough, we get a push basically all the way back to all-time highs the next month in June. So we've retraced all the way back to the 618 fib level from this bear market, right? Which is absolutely crazy because in previous bull markets, we have not seen this happen. Here's the 618 fib. We have not seen this happen until the Bitcoin halving, which was July 2016. Here we see a run to the 618 fib in June. And the previous one you can't see, but the top was like 35-ish, right? And the 618 fib was hit in February 2013. Also, after the halving, right? This was the Bitcoin halving. And this is after when the 618 fib was hit. Sorry if there's some noise in the background, guys. My cat is tearing some shit up. But yeah, you can see here we've hit this 618 fib in just 4 months after, or really just 3 months after breaking out of the accumulation range. So I would consider this bull market to be quite unique in the sense that we're not expecting it to be just like the last one, even though we bottomed at the monthly bands, which is the same cyclical location that we bottomed at last time, right? It's not going to be the same. And if, this run up is not a testament to that, then I don't know what it is. All right. But the long-term trend is definitely up. I've seen a lot of people starting to post this kind of analysis now. And I don't know. I just think that has no real basis behind it. So I'm ignoring any hyperwave fuckers that talk like this, okay, because there's no analysis behind this, guys. All right, I'm long-term bullish as long as we can stay above the monthly 8, which is mid 7Ks. And I'm not like, I'm not too specific on an exact point. If we go to 7.5, I'm not going to sell everything. Or if we go back to 6, I'm not going to sell everything. But, right, we want to stay above on a monthly closing basis. We want to stay above this monthly 8 region, right? And then the most important thing is on lower time frames to keep making higher highs and higher lows. And that will coincide with staying above this 7,400 region because there's a big daily pivot in there. Okay? So we'll keep that in mind as we zoom in a bit. This $7,000 to $8,000 range is a key long-term support. And then the bands back at 4,400 is also support. But, we didn't see that touched until a bear market happened. So I don't think I'd really want to see that happen again. All right? Oh, yeah, one more time about the monthly stochastic, right? This is our long-term runway. We want to be riding this all the way until it is extended, broken down, and price switches to higher or to lower highs and lower lows with it, okay? So hopefully we can ride this long-term uptrend for another year or two, right? Zooming into the weekly here, okay, we can see cyclically we've been in a little bit of a down cycle, right? Since June, since hitting 14,000. I mean, that was an insane run up. So it makes sense to get some sort of pullback, considering we went from being one of the lowest points we'd cyclically ever been, right? We got above this blue 8 here, 8-period exponential moving average at 3,700. And we have not broken that 8 since then, right? I'm not talking about the 8 on the monthly, which we can see is usually very good support in a bull market. I'm talking about just the 8 on the weekly. Like, we didn't even get, you know, a deep pullback, albeit, you know, from the top, we did, right? This was a 35% pullback. That's pretty massive. And so, you know, I'll start getting into my game plan here shortly, but I've been adding like this, right? So I started nibbling at 10.5, 10.6. I bought some more at 10. And I actually managed to buy pretty much the absolute bottom currently at 91.05. I had my bids structured like this on exchange, and I got one filled at 91.05. I got some filled at 96. I've got more all the way down this area, 88, 87, 85, 84, all the way down to 7.5. And then I'm keeping the last like 10, 15% of my cash in case we get some big scam wick down to 6,000, back to this accumulation range, something like that. I don't think it's that likely, honestly. Personal opinion, I don't even think we're going to break like the 7,400 pivot. I don't even think we're going to get below 8,000. But, you know, shouldn't talk about trading what I think too much, because then you get in your head and you start getting too emotional. So we'll just trade what we see on the charts, right? And for now, we're holding the weekly 8 just like we've held all the way up. So, you know, there's no reason for me to think we won't continue here. But if we look at this on lower time frames, right, you can see this was a very clear uptrend when we go into it. Likewise, this on the short term is a pretty clear downtrend. And while we've gotten a pretty significant bounce from this right here, we've not broken the recent lower highs. So we got to, you know, be a little cautious until then, right? Meaning I'm leaving all my bids on the table until, you know, further notice, until we can change this intermediate term downtrend back into an intermediate term uptrend. Okay, that making sense? Right, so laddered bids like this, that's what I've got. I've already had, you know, like a quarter of them filled and just waiting to see where we go from here. This weekly down cycle, it's still coming down, right? We haven't even gotten back below this 75 region. So it's possible, I guess it's always possible, we get a full cycle down into, you know, October or September or something like that, right? And that could coincide with a lot of boredom on BTC. You know, who knows? And the same thing goes, I'll go very briefly to total market cap excluding BTC, which essentially is the market cap of altcoins. And they're the same way cyclically, right? Where this could be a full cycle down, leading us into some very boring trading until the end of the year for altcoins, right? So I would not be surprised to see something like that happen. Now, I've been buying. I bought some Ethereum recently as well, in addition to my BTC, because I'm trying to counter trade my feelings. My feelings are that we'll go deeper. So I'm going to counter trade that by buying at the short-term pivots. Okay. Same thing with Ethereum. We got this trend line here, right? We got a big zone of confluence. It's like a 50% retrace, or no, a 618 retrace from the highs. So it's where you want to see price hold. But when I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's gross. That's bearish. It looks terrible. So I counter trade myself and bought some Ethereum, right? And then same went for BTC. When it was getting below, you see that candle right there? When it was getting below this horizontal pivot, I know it's kind of hard to see with the number there, but it closed below it. It was looking real bearish, but I left my bids, and right on the next candle, my bid gets filled, and now we're up, $1,500 from that point. So sometimes you got to buy the fear and sell the greed. And so I bought the fear there. I will buy it more if we go deeper. I've been buying the fear on altcoins with Ethereum. I think Binance Coin looks absolutely beautiful from a long-term perspective. If we can hold 24,000 Satoshis, I mean, you look at those arrows. It looks just like where it bottomed back in November 2018. Right, and USDT pair looks also as good. Maybe some room to go down to like the teens on BNB. but I'd consider yourself pretty lucky if you get bids down there. Okay. Cardano, I was playing some Cardano in the start of the year. I thought this was going to be a really good trade. We bought this higher low, sold a good piece up in this region, just making good money. Bought some back, got stopped out in here. Bought some back again, got stopped out again here. And since then, I've not really seen a good entry since it's been practically cut in half again. So also, do note when you're looking at Cardano, don't look at the Binance chart, guys, other than for volume. Look at the retraced chart, and you can see we're not at all-time lows just yet. We're actually just starting to enter that long-term accumulation range. And I say long-term, I mean, who really knows if it's going to hold, right? It was only support for 5 or 6 weeks at the end of an explosive bull market. So, you never know if that's going to hold. That's why I'm not starting to buy it. I want to see some good price action first, and then I'll be interested. Okay. So I kind of detracted from BTC a little bit there, but it's all important. It all ties in. Okay. So don't think we can't get a longer term cycle down, right? But I've already started buying in case we don't. So I'm about at 40% BTC right now, and I'll keep adding the deeper we go. And now getting into the daily, right? We'll start looking at the recent daily pivots, right? Higher low in here, higher low, and we're just trying to make another higher low anywhere in front of that 7,500 region. And you can see we got the 200 and pi down here, which are long-term moving averages. I will absolutely edit them if we get there. Like I was saying, my bids are structured right now on exchange like this, okay? And I'm keeping my last piece of cash in case we get something like this while I'm watching the charts, and I can market buy a piece down in that region. Because that might bring my average from here just, to here, right? That could be really good for my overall long-term position, okay? And now it's also possible that this higher low led to this higher low. I kind of botched the wording of that, but right. And then that this one is leading to this one, right? Where we get one close below it, immediate invalidation with a bullish candle, and then close back above it, right? So that could be another long-term higher low right there. Right now, and we got the low daily cycle, right? So things are looking pretty good, right? I bought some, like I said, at 91.05 is where I hit. The low of that candle was 90.80. So $25 off the bottom. Feeling pretty good about that one. It won't be the bottom if we go deeper, of course, but I've got more bids if we do. So I'm ready if we go down. I'm still 20% cash waiting for this, or 25. And I'm 40% BTC if we go up. I've got some Ethereum if alts start to go up. Oh yeah, and then let me get into, while the weekly, the daily, they look decent, we have to go look into the 4 hour. And I'm going to take away my indicators for a second, guys, just so we can see this clear pattern in market structure, right? We have higher lows, higher highs, higher low. This was a little bit of a lower high relative to the top, right? Lower high. And then we had a higher high, again, just relative to these two, not relative to the top, but a higher high in the short term, along with a lower high, right, in the more intermediate long term. Right, so it's possible that this is our current downtrend, right? That's the key lower high, this is the key lower low, and we just gotta get the fuck out of that, right? So what I want to see is to start breaking some of these short or intermediate term lower high pivots, right? So find a lower low, right? This was a lower low, right? Relative to here. Find the lower high that led to that lower ho. Oh goodness. Don't tell anyone about that. Find the lower high that led to that lower low, which would be this one, or if you went to the daily, right, it would look like this one. Either way, you got to take one of those out for me to really be confident in this intermediate term uptrend starting, or else we're still just in this this downward channel, okay? So we're getting close though. We got to 10.7 today, and the intermediate term pivot is at, looks like 11,000-ish, right? In this region, you can see how many times it's been tapped as support resistance. So if we can get back above there, I will be feeling much more confident about my current position. And then if we do something like this, I'm willing to add on longs back to this level again, and hopefully we can hold another higher low. Because then on the daily, that's going to look really good for us. A really strong hold of the one-day bands. And, I mean, I bet we just rocket to fucking 16K after that one. Okay, but that's what I'm watching for. You can see we're right at the bands on the 4-hour, which tends to be resistance. Okay, so pretty big deciding factor, right? This key high here, if we're going to be re-entering an uptrend or not. And if not, we'll go into the 30-minute. I don't usually do this on YouTube videos, but just real quickly showing that you can hedge, right? If this is a key lower high, you can be hedged on the short side into that lower high and then targeting the lows again or something like that, right? So that's not a bad hedge, right? Just being short BTC until we break these lower highs. I'm not a madman, so I'm not here shorting jack shit in a bull market. I'd rather wait and buy the dips like I've been doing instead of trying to time the top. But, you know, power to you. The ones who do short, power to you. I hope you're successful. Use good risk management, guys. Find a key lower high, put your stops above that, or wait for another lower high to be produced and then put your stops above that, right? If you must short. Otherwise, just long the dips, guys. Like, we're in a bull market. This is the bull market that's going to $100,000 BTC and more, okay? So don't think it's anything but that, right? And don't do anything stupid here that's going to harm your long-term plan, okay? So I think that's all for this video, guys. We've talked about my plan. I'm hedging, or not hedging, sorry. What's the word? Laddering. Yeah, laddering in my bids like this. Already got filled on some of them. I bought some Ethereum recently. It was weird. I had my stops on Ethereum right in here, and I stopped out at like 225. And then just to restart my position, you know, right here. So that was interesting. But I think it looks pretty good, right? We've got this kind of long-term uptrend going on. Okay, so as long as we can keep making higher highs and higher lows, it should be golden, right? And, you know, if we go to the weekly, it's not even that bad on Ethereum, right? We're down 47% from the highs. Okay, let's go look at BTC in the last bull run. Were there any pullbacks of massive order like that? Yep, there's a 42% pullback. Yep, there's 26% pullback. Yep, 40% pullback. 35, 32, 40, 40, 25, right? So plenty of pullback opportunities of more than 30%, and we continued right after. Well, guys, we're 35% down already. So, you know, it's probably not going much deeper. That's why I'm saying maybe to the 8Ks, and you know, based on higher lows, we should be able to go to 7.4 and really even down to 6 with no problem. But, you know, this is getting to be a 56% retrace. Like, you know, I don't know how likely it is that we get down to those levels, but it's possible, and anything in this region is a fair region for a higher low. Okay, so I'll be buying anything I get in that region. Same thing goes for Ethereum, right? I want to hold this region like a motherfucker. Okay, we do not want to see that broken at the lowest 170-ish. Okay, back below that, and it's not a pullback, it's just a full retrace. Okay, but I'm a buyer there for now. FBTC, right, in relation to BTC, looks absolutely horrendous. You can see I've kind of got a little bit of a meme chart going. Yeah, you guys see how we broke this support here? Yeah, and we consolidated, and we fucking mooned it. Just like we broke this support here, we consolidated, and then we fucking mooned it. Obviously, you know, just kind of a stupid fractal comparison. Not how I expect it to go is something like this. Yeah, but how it really is going to go, who the fuck knows? But let's take away the indicators, right? This looks pretty fucking atrocious, right? That's a weekly close below a long-term higher low. And the distance between that and the recent higher low, not recent, but the previous higher low is absolutely enormous, right? But we've also, you know, look how fast we blasted from the bottom to here, right? We didn't really stop anywhere in there. So who's to say this won't be the support level, or you know, this, or this, or this, or that, or this, or like, who knows which support block or whatever you want to call it is going to hold, or if we're going to do something like this or that, or no one knows. But I'm hedging against my emotions and starting to buy because the USD pair looks pretty damn good. Okay, so that's my game plan on Ethereum, right? I'm going to be buying the dips on the USD pair as long as we can keep above 170-ish. And the BTC pair, it looks pretty horrendous. I'm really only watching the BTC pair for the relationship between Ethereum and Bitcoin. I want to see, and I get it, obviously. You're looking at Bitcoin. No shit, you're looking at the relationship between the two. But my point is, I want to see if money is flowing into Ethereum from Bitcoin, or if money is flowing from Bitcoin into just cash. Because if it's just flowing to cash, then Bitcoin dumps, ETH is going to dump worse. But if it's flowing into Bitcoin or into Ethereum, then Bitcoin could dump while Ethereum pumps, like we see over here. And like we see here. But we'll have to, we'll just have to wait and see. At this point, it's a little bit too much of just me trying to think about what's going to happen instead of just me following my plan, which is what I'm doing. So if you guys have any questions about that, you're always welcome to come join us in the Boss Crypto Chat. Hit me up in there, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. All right, lads. So, traders, if you like this video and you watched all the way to the end, we know you're going to fit in perfectly with our 350 traders and investors who are already enrolled in the academy. So head over to bosscrypto.co or just click the link in the comment section or the description below. Claim your spot. Guys, 30 days. It's completely free. Nothing to lose. Come chat us up. I'll see you guys there. Take care.